Hey guys, welcome to our first bonus video. We're going to be making these bonus videos from now on, just to say thanks for you guys for your support, and you can see that we are back on this pottery brick building that we were creating, the Barracks, in our labyrinth. And these bonus videos, were as we continue with the finishing this house, we're going to be doing something a little different. So with this particular video, and hopefully we'll have this segment in the future, this will be the first time we're trying it, so bear with us. We're going to be doing what we like to call quick fire questions. And the way that that's going to work is we're going to have about 5 questions per episode in these bonus videos. And we're going to have a small amount of time to each answer these types of questions. And we hope that you guys will answer them along in the comments as well. So,
some of these questions come from the forum. Some of these questions come from people we talk to. Some of them we just make up our own. If you want to suggest questions to us, then feel free to do that in the feed or in the discussion area.
Yeah, wherever we'll definitely take your questions.
Comments on YouTube, everything. Yeah.
So let's get started. Are you ready, Adam?
I'm ready.
Are you sure you're ready though?
Ready as I can be.
Okay. So let's get started as I start building this next one. Okay. Question number 1. What is the most beautiful tree in Wurm, and why? Go.
I'm gonna have to go with oak tree.
Why?
Oak tree because, not only is it just a beautiful tree, like it has that deep brown wood and the deep green colored huge tree. Aside from that, it makes a great centerpiece to a deed. But even more so, what makes it the most beautiful tree is how long it takes to grow. It could take months and months and months. Possibly up to a year for it to get to its full growth, which is why every time I start a new deed, I always make an oak tree the centerpiece of it, and that's just
But oak trees kill trees around it.
I guess they do.
So you're telling me that you pick your choice for the best tree is a tree killer.
It's a tree killer. Yeah, well, I guess, that makes it even more beautiful because it creates space for it around itself on its own.
I guess so. I don't know. All right, for my pick, I'm going to go with birch. So birch trees are the most beautiful just because they're a different color. They spice up the world, sort of like the dismal brown world of Wurm. If you ever go into a birch tree forest, it's like so beautiful, so nice. The white very much shines, especially in this game. It's tall, it doesn't obstruct your view when you're going through, and I don't know, that's my choice.
Yeah, but you can't put them on deed or anything like that because even though they look nice as a forest, you're picking a tree that makes your deed look shabby. I don't know. That's my feeling.
But it's still really nice. I don't know. Anyway, question 2.
Okay.
Which server do you believe is the best for a new player to start on? Go.
For a new player, I'd have to pick one of the smaller servers for sure. Aside from the fact that it's easier to traverse and there might be better infrastructure there, there's a lot less lag on the smaller servers.
You gotta pick one.
Of the ones, I'd probably go with Release, and that's because it's one of the newest servers, and it came out when Celebration came out with Release together, and Celebration I think was most populated. So Release because it's not only the least populated, but most.
Do you feel like it has the most amount of space? How
Maybe.
How big is it compared to other small servers like Exodus?
Yeah, I think it's exactly the same
Exactly the
size.
same size.
Mm.
But why would you choose a new server that doesn't have many players on it? How is that player supposed to find their way if they can't ever see others around?
Well, that's a good point. And I guess it would be for a certain type of people who like that, the isolation, and maybe a few people are over there, but yeah, it'll be less populated there.
Well, I choose Xanadu. Xanadu
Okay.
is the server that people should join. It is massive if you're an explorer and you love to explore. If you love to feel like you're in this huge world, this huge environment, Xanadu will be your pick because you can travel from one side all the way to the other side. It'll take you so long, days. Just it would be crazy, and you could have somebody living on the other side of the world, the other side of Xanadu, and you'll never ever see them. I mean, there are things going on in this world. Like, we're building a labyrinth here, and so many people on Xanadu will never know that there's this thing on Wurm, on their same server. And when we were on a smaller server like Deliverance, that never happened. You could travel from one side of Deliverance to the other side, and in like an hour, like almost nothing. And so it just didn't feel like a big world when you're on there. Xanadu, it definitely does, and it's definitely my choice.
So your pick is the laggiest server. People are calling it Lagadoo.
You know what? I know a lot of people are calling it Lagadoo, or they feel it's really laggy, but overall, I don't think it's more laggy enough, at least for me when I play, to justify not being on the server. And I think a lot of people are the same because a lot of people do play on it. And if it was so bad, people would have left by now.
Yeah, I suppose.
But there's so many people that play on this. Like a lot of people still play on Xanadu, so there's a lot of discussion around. While at the same time, you get the largeness of the server that gives you the breathing room to have your own place, an isolated place if you want to. Lots of land.
All right. Next question.
Question 3.
How many days in advance do you keep your deed upkeep? Go.
How many days in advance would I put upkeep? I would put as much as possible. So I would put. I always want it to be, I think, over 100 days. If I had to pick a date. Why 100 days? You don't want it to be less than 30 because then stuff starts damaging and you lose a lot of the benefits of having a deed. So I don't want to keep putting money in constantly. So I want to have the comfort of always having more than less. Over 100 is what I shoot for. I love seeing those 3 digits.
Yeah. I would even say go farther than that. And I learned my lesson after putting only about 100 days into a upkeep in Autumn Twilight. And yeah, sometimes real life gets busy and you aren't able to check upkeep or log on for very long periods of time. And so it could easily happen that your deed just accidentally starts taking damage, or even worse yet, disbands. So I would say I would normally I have, like, nowadays I try to put in lots of time, several months in advance.
Give me a day's amount.
Let's see, days. I definitely shoot for over 200 days.
Over 200. Oh, that's like, wow, more than half a year.
Yeah, more than half a year. You'd probably, yeah.
But you know what? This guy needs it. Still like Autumn Twilight, all that work, all those that giant castle, just because one day he just said, "Did I put money into Autumn Twilight?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I put money in Diamond
I'm
Twilight.
sure I did, right?
Yeah, totally. I don't have to check.
All right, here's a shoot off of that same question. If you were playing on a PvP server, how much would upkeep would you put on?
Oh,
Knowing
sure.
that people could take that money.
Right. Knowing people could take that money, yeah, there's definitely going to be a balance. Also, on a PvP server, you're probably there constantly, or somebody's there constantly, like on a regular, everyday basis. It's not like a single person on a deed who might not, who might have to go on vacation for a few weeks or whatever. You got people on that deed all the time, so making sure that upkeep gets put in on a regular basis is much less of a concern. So there, I'd probably put maybe 2 months or 60 days worth of upkeep. You definitely want above the 30 days to prevent decay, but every week have somebody responsible for putting in upkeep.
I'm a really bad person to ask this question to her because I'm not a PvP player. I haven't played on PvP. But I would say fortify your place really well. And I would at least have it 60 days as the lowest amount, no higher than 90.
Right.
That's what I would do. And why? Because you wouldn't want it to fall under 30 by accident. Because I feel like if everything started getting destroyed, that would just be devastating on a PvP server.
True.
And you wouldn't want too much for players to come and like steal all your money from a token one day. Although I feel like if that happened and they just destroyed your fortress, you probably are gonna have to start all over again anyway.
I also don't think that they can drain it all either.
Is it a specific amount?
Percentage. I think it's even a small percentage of something or other. I don't know the details.
Yeah, so there you go. Don't go over 90. But I'm sure other people will have a much better answer to that question, especially people that play on PvP
we might be totally off on that one. So
who knows?
We're not really that.
Anyway, question 4. Oh, it's a good one. The Wurm Cosmetic Cash Shop. Good or bad idea? Go.
That's a hard one. Okay, so I'd say that it is overall good idea because it'll allow players to access things that we have long wanted, such as ability to change names or sexes, or there's tons of things that could be sold there that won't be game breaking by any means, but also provide the game with another set of income. There are people who are willing to put in money to get those decorative items that just make their deed look that much better, whereas it won't affect the game in terms of unbalance or anything like that. But yeah, I think it's a good idea for a cash flow for the game, for sure.
Okay, I'm going to say it's a bad idea.
I know what you're going to say, but okay,
listen,
okay.
They should never... Okay, there's already a cash shop in the game. So why are they taking the cash shop and taking it out of the game? It needs to stay in the game because... And by in the game, I mean we already have traders. And traders are already a cash shop. This game has... For people that say that this game is... it's turning into a pay to win or something like that. Oh, I just picked the wrong... I just pulled an Adam. Damn it.
Nice.
Okay. Anyway, I'll fix that later. So, for people that say that the game is going to turn into a pay to win if they did that, we are already living in a pay to win sort of environment, right? We already are there. You pay money for gold or for silvers or whatever, and you can bring it into the game. We already have that system.
Silvers for all sorts of things. Yeah.
So I don't understand why they would have items that you can purchase from online in a web store.
Now, just to play devil's advocate on that one, on the website it would be a direct euro transfer, so it would be
Mm-hmm.
Money directly to the company. Whereas the cash shop on the traders, people would be able to access that using in-game silver, which they would have made from other people. And I know we've had this discussion many times before that every silver in the game is purchased from the shop, but it may or may not be a direct cash flow into Wurm Online's pockets if somebody were to buy something off of a trader, whereas it would be if they bought something from a cosmetic shop online. You might also be reaching more people who would be willing to pay for cosmetic items on a online on a shop online, but rather they wouldn't be interested in buying silvers that would be then used in game. Just possibility.
I don't know if there's any game that you can purchase items. I'm probably wrong by saying any game. There's not many games that you can purchase items from outside of the game.
Yeah, I think
most shops happen from within the game if they're taking this route.
Yeah, that's right. Lots of games do use the in-game. You're right.
And I think I don't see why Wurm should be any different. If they don't want to put the money on if they don't want to put the items on traders, just make a new type of NPC or a new type of system from within the game, and allow people to purchase items from that guy.
Now, do you think that they should make it so that they can buy things directly with Euro in-game? Like, for example, all these mobile games would do that. They have like buttons like pay $25, and you get this item, and it comes like directly
right
off your account or whatever. Do you think they should do something like that?
I think that would be okay if that's what they're wanting to do. It should be, cosmetic items that don't matter. But I hate things that break immersion. I hate it so much. Just don't break immersion. I'd be okay.
It would definitely be a lot more immersive.
I mean, you can't be mad. You cannot be mad if they're going to put some sort of item on there that like mirror to change genders, when we've had items this whole time like magic chests that give features that you can't build. Like, that gives features that you can only purchase. But, we're not too mad because you can earn the silvers from in-game if you wanted to and purchase it. You don't have to, like, buy the silvers, but there's always the option to buy the silvers. So it's like they've given a cash shop from within the game of cosmetic type of items or even items with features that they've snuck in that allows you to do it both ways. If they take it out of the game and they do it with euros, I don't like it as much, because now it's only one option to get that item, and that's just with money, like real money. There's no option anymore, and that's what I hate.
Or it would open the option for people to buy things off the cash app for money and sell it in-game for silver.
That is true. I don't even know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think that's not a... They did it before with those garden gnomes. They made those garden gnomes that you can only buy by paying your real money. But people sold them afterwards, and it always ended up being less money. You know what I mean?
It's true. But I mean, it's again like a good thing or a bad thing. It'll flood these items into the game. It always could be it could be a good thing, because you're spurring the economy on, you're giving items that people want, you're getting people to play. The end goal is to make sure that people continue to play. Really, that's it.
So. That's true.
Anyway, last question. Okay. You ready?
All right. Yeah.
Which one should be faster? Horses or boats? Go.
This is something that we definitely felt in the game right from the start, that it felt like boats were always slower than horses. That you can get to a place on land faster than you would by getting onto a boat and traveling there. And we always, like, I personally felt that was always, like, it felt backwards. It felt like if I was going to walk on land, that should take a way longer than it would be if I got on a boat and sailed there.
So which one are you picking?
So
You're picking
I'm
boats?
definitely going to go with boats on this one, yeah.
So you're saying boats should be faster
Boats should be faster than horses.
than horses.
Although I don't think that that's the case that is now, but I feel like it should be.
I feel like maybe the max speed of a Corbita or something, not a Corbita, of the Caravel
Okay.
is probably faster than the fastest horse. I could be wrong. Maybe horses are faster.
I think the fastest horse. Well, but I mean, like if you have a fully geared horse with really high gear, you can go over 40.
That's true. That's true. I would choose horses.
Okay.
Horses should be faster. Here's the thing. Boats will always be useful because boats, you can't take a horse over water. So any server that has a lot of water, anytime that you have to go around a body of water with a horse,
It's true.
boats are still faster.
Mm.
Now, boats should be scaled better, so they shouldn't have such low speed. That's
Okay.
slower than walking,
Right.
but they should have. You should be able to go faster with a horse, I think.
Okay. I see.
Because I mean, we're in medieval times type era. These boats don't have motors; they sail through wind, and you can't rely on wind the whole time, which makes sense. But you should be able to rely on a nice horse that you've put gear on, that you've spent all this time nurturing and feeding and growing. Should be faster than the unpredictability of the wind.
Hmm.
So hopefully
Fair enough.
you guys enjoyed that, and I'm looking forward to hearing your responses of these 5 questions.
Or
and
more questions that you might have of your own.
yeah, and when we're going to be creating more of these videos, and I can't wait to keep exploring more topics in the future. And we thank you guys for watching. We got a little further on this house.
Yep, we're getting closer, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I think all we need to do is build these fences, and we're pretty much done.
Well,
Not bad.
There's also the stuff inside.
Yeah, that won't take too long. We did the top
Yep.
floor. It's just the next floor down.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys, for watching this bonus video, and we definitely look forward for more. And stay tuned, guys, because we'll be back soon. Take care, everyone.